Hello Digimon Tamers, welcome back to another Mad Merlins unboxing. So after my failed recording of my Blast Ace gift set 2023, my Digimon content's been a bit slow, but I've finally picked up the one set I've been chasing for the last 2 months or so, and that is a starter deck, Dragon of Courage. So this is the brand new black starter deck, featuring of course the poster boy of Digimon, Wargreymon, and his Greymon evolution line. It also features quite a few of the Andron line as well, which is pretty cool. There's some nice cards in there, some brand new game mechanics to look at as well, and yeah, plenty of cool cards. There's even a deluxe half game mat as well for people who need to get a game mat for themselves. So before we jump over to the table, thank you all for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot to me, it really does. There's going to be plenty of content over the Christmas break. I'm not going to be taking a break, as I mentioned previously. Last year I did, and it messed up a lot of my scheduling. I'll take Christmas Day, possibly Boxing Day off, with the exception of a couple of special unboxings, but other than that, I will be working as usual. Finally then, don't forget, of course, to check all the stuff, links, comments, likes, subscribing, and of course the Patreon. And yeah, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. So let's jump over to the table and we'll take a look at the Dragon of Courage. So here we are at the table with the brand new starter deck, Dragon of Courage, for the Digimon TCG. And here we have the Ace Wargreymon, that is brand new for the set and also for the BT14. The Ace cards are a new game mechanic, as I mentioned. They're a bit of a double-edged sword, but they are more than worth their returning cut. So on the back we got the usual, so contents, ready to play deck, index cards of 4, memory gauge 2, and a play sheet for you. And you have the usual stuff there. You can recycle, but of course only in France. And we've got our list of 16 types of cards, so 6 common, 5 uncommon, 3 rare, and 2 super rare. And on the side, so we've got the 4 types of cards that are in the box. So we've got Digimon, Digi-Eggs, Tamers, and options. And this side we just have starter deck Dragon of Courage. On the top, Digimon card game. And yeah, it's ST15 English version. And right, yeah, I think that's it. Let's bring in my knife. Just cut the tape. So here we have the usual plastic tray. So Bandai tried a all cardboard box for the decks with ST, I think it was 12 and 11, which was the Ragnarlord Mon, and I've forgotten the other one. But those last 2 decks that came out were okay, but they didn't have the reusability. These trays, slightly more reusability. They can hold the cards in them. But we get the cards, of course, with a plastic sleeve. And at the back of the tray, we have our battle mat. So let's unfold this first, and then we'll take a look through our deck. So here we have the battle mat. So we got space for our deck, our trash. We got a reminder of how the game flows. So unsuspend, draw, breeding phase, and main phase, or udbum. We got our security stack space for 5 cards, our breeding area, so our egg deck and our hatching space, and of course the battle area. Plenty of space for your Digimon, option cards, and Tamers. Along the top we got the usual double memory marker, or memory tracker should I say. There's no actual marker in this, that's kind of annoying. I used to like when they had the punch out memory markers. But the good thing about this mat is it is double-sided. If Wargreymon alone isn't enough to take your fancy, you have Agumon, Greymon, and Metal Greymon. And these are the arts for the actual cards we get in the deck, so that's nice. Right then, let's bring the deck in and we'll take a look through the cards. So here's the deck in its sleeve. We'll just pull the sleeve off. And if you're careful, you can put it back on. What I like to do is take away the back 6 cards, which are the memory tracker cards and the abridged rules. So it has, usually it's 3 cards, but now we have 4, as we have the new Ace ruling, the Blast Digivolve rule, the Overflow rule, and there is a change to some of the game mechanics. So instead of reaction timing, it's now 2 different types of timing. So counter, which is all to do with Blast Digivolve effects, and also blocker timing, all to do with the battle phase. But yeah. But we've got the usual rules, and like I said, we've got the alternate memory markers if you want to use those. But to put them back in, what I do is take those off, put the sleeve over, and then slowly put these back in till it's full. Right, so first off then, we've got our Digi-Egg deck. So, as per usual, all Digi-Eggs have a white background with the egg symbol. And we get 4 Coromons. So this is the new ST15 Coromon, who has all turns, once per turn, when an attack target is switched, gain 1000 DP to the end of the turn. Not the best of the Coromons. I still think the BT5 is probably the best. The draw 1 on attacking is pretty good. Not really a good replacement, I don't think. There are a few other Coromons that allow you to either draw or gain DP that aren't once per turn effects. But the good thing is at least it is all turns, so even if it's your opponent's turn and you redirect, you gain 1000 DP for the turn. Then we've got our level 3s, so we've got 2 copies of the new Agumon. So he is play cost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolve 0 from a level 2 egg, that's black. You can Digivolve for 0 from any Coromon. Start of the main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you gain a memory. Then he has the inheritant effect, all turns once per turn. When an attack target is switched, you gain a memory. Then we got the one card I've been after from the set. It's Clear Agumon, so he's not much to look at. He's a play cost of 3, 0 from a level 2 black egg, 2000 DP, but his inheritant is where it comes in, so he has the reboot inheritable effect. So when this Digimon is suspended, it can unsuspend during your opponent's unsuspend phase. So that's going to be very handy for my deck because I lack a lot of reboot now that I've took out my Galmon and Black Wargreymon X. I've gone back to a regular Wargreymon deck, so this guy could come in handy for that. Of course, I won't be able to hatch him on top of an egg unless I throw in a couple of black eggs in my deck. But we get 4 copies of this guy in the deck, so we can easily take those and put into my deck as a spare set. Next up then we got Solarmon, so an on-play effect, reveal top card of your deck. If it's black, add it to your hand, then trash the rest. you are running an entire black deck, so you're bound to always get that. Just level 3, 2000 DP, and level 2 egg evolution there. No inheritant though. Then we got a play cost of 4, digivolve cost of 0 from a black egg, level 4000 DP, blocker toy Wargreymon. And also you have on your turn when it attacks you lose 2 memory. And again, no inheritant though, so he's just a pretty cheap sacrificial little Wargreymon there made out of Lego blocks. Moving on to the level 4s, we have Mechanorimon. So he's another one of the Andron line along with Solarmon, but he's also another one that gives us the inheritable reboot. Don't think I'll run this guy in my deck personally, but who knows, I might find a slot for him. But he has a play cost of 4, digivolve 2 from a level 3 black Digimon, 5000 DP, and no other effects other than the inheritable reboot. But we do get, again, 4 copies of this guy, so we have a good selection there. Next up, we got Tankmon, a play cost of 5, digivolve cost of 2, 6000 DP with the jamming ability, so he can't be deleted by security battles. He's just a level 4, no inherited effects, but he's got jamming, which isn't all that common on black cards. So it's a nice little bit of protection there. Then we get 2 copies of the brand new Greymon. So play cost of 6, digivolve 2 or digivolve 2 from any level 3 with Wargreymon in name. 5000 DP, it has a security effect. So if this card is revealed in your security, you may play an Wargreymon or a Tamer card with tie from your hand or trash without paying a cost. He also has blocker as well. And he has inherited when an attack target is switched, gain a memory. So stacking this up with the other Wargreymons, you're bound to get a good bit of memory back from inherited effects, which is pretty good. You only get 2 copies, like I said, so that's why I have picked up 2 of this deck in order to get me a full play set. Most of the other cards in here are 4 copies of, so we aren't going to have much trouble getting our hands on those. But here we have our first level 5, which is Nightmon. So his play cost of 6, digivolves for 3 memory from a level 4 black Digimon. It has a 7000 DP rating and has an on-play effect, so delete an opponent's Digimon with play cost of 5 or less. So that's pretty good if your opponent's played out usually a level 4 with play cost of 5. You can easily get rid of it just from playing this guy. No inheritant, but that's pretty much standard. So yeah, pretty cool Nightmon. Next up then, we have Andromon. So pretty well-known Digimon from the Digimon anime. So 7000 DP there, play cost of 7, digivolve costs of 3 from a level 4 black Digimon. He has, when digivolving, the de-digivolve rule, so you can trash one of your opponent's top level, but you can't trash past level 3. And continuing the theme here for the Andromon line, he has the inheritable reboot there. So yeah, Digimon unsuspends during your opponent's unsuspend step. So pretty cool, gives you a nice bit of defense. So yeah, 4 copies of this guy in the deck, which is pretty handy. And then we move on to Metal Greymon. So 8000 DP, play cost of 8, digivolves from a level 4 black Digimon for 3, or any level 4 with Greymon in its name for a cost of 3. And he has blocker plus the inheritable security attack +1. Don't much see me using this guy over, say, the BT12 Metal Greymon, which has inheritable piercing and has raid. But a 8000 DP blocker that could potentially have some memory boost underneath it, because technically you are switching the target of the attack with a block. So you'd gain any memory that you have underneath its inheritable effects. And security attack +1 when you go onto a Wargreymon Ace isn't too bad, but I run 4 copies of the old ST1 Greymon, which gives me security attack +1 anyway. So, poster boy of the deck is our Wargreymon Ace. So, play cost of 6, so he's nice and cheap for a level 6 Digimon. Usually they are in the double figures. He has a DP power of 11 there. He can digivolve on top of a level 5 for 3 memory, or any level 5 with Greymon for the cost of 3. So we have here the hand and counter rule. So while he's in your hand, you can make, when your opponent makes an attack, you can blast digivolve into this guy without having to pay your digivolution costs. So that's pretty handy. He also has blocker, so he can then intercept an attack. And then all turns, once per turn, when the card is removed from the security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So any security stack, even yours or your opponent's. So he has the Ace keyword there. He also has the Ace overflow rule. So overflow is basically if you lose this card from the battle area, be it via de-digivolve, moving to security, returning to hand or deck, you will automatically lose 4 memory there, which gives your opponent a bit of an edge. But like I said, these guys have a cheap play cost and would easily make up for that overflow cost there of that -4. But it's not going to be easy to take down these guys. They have lots of abilities that can stop your opponent from getting deletions off. Finally then, for our Digimon, we have a level 6 High Andromon. So I believe this is possibly the first card of High Andromon in the game. I don't think I've seen any others. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But he has a play cost of 11, 1200 DP, digivolves from a level 5 black for 4 memory, and has, of course, blocker. So at the blocker timing, suspend this Digimon to become the target. And when digivolving, you delete an opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less. So again, he can take out those high targets, level 5s, and as we've seen, ace cards as well of level 6. But yeah, other than that, he's a pretty good top ender for the deck, and we get 4 copies of him. So yeah, not too bad. So next up then, we got our Tamers. We have 4 copies of the brand new tie, so play cost of 4. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or fewer memory, set it to 3. All turns, when the attack target is switched by suspending this Tamer, draw 1, and one of your Digimon gains plus 2000 DP. And security effect, play this card without paying the cost. So yeah, I'm actually running this card. I've got 4 copies of it already from people who have had duplicates of the decks already. And yeah, this guy is actually pretty useful. I could easily combine him with some of the other ties that give extra DP, or even the BT12 tie that gives a blocker. But a lot of people confuse it because they have very similar art. It's the same sort of pose, hand held high, but one has a Digivice in hand, one doesn't. But yeah, this tie plus the other black tie would work pretty nicely for a good combination to gain some buffs to your Digimon. Next up, we have 2 copies of Breakthrough of Courage. Kind of annoying, they've gone to taking scenes from the anime for the actual card art. I do like original card art. But while you have a Tamer with tie, you can play this card without meeting its color requirements. In your main phase, you can unsuspend 1 Digimon, then one of your Digimon, a Greymon, in its name, isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects until the end of your opponent's turn. So that's pretty cool, gives you the protection from de-digivolve or anything else. But you will still be affected by option cards, so just be wary of those. 2 copies of that, so you could easily, I would take out 1 Trident Arm and put in a 3rd copy of this if you wanted to just keep the deck as is. So our final card then is Trident Arm, a pretty potent card. I've been having a lot of fun with this. So a cost of 6, and you can de-digivolve 3 stages on one of your opponent's Digimon until they meet a level 3. Then, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains this Digimon can't attack. So that's pretty cool. And you also have security, you activate the de-digivolve effect only. So that is still pretty cool. If your opponent hits your security, they are going to run the risk of going down in levels. It's actually helped me facing a Greymon deck that had just been roughly put together, and yeah, he hit me with Greymon and I knocked it back down to a Greymon. So 4 copies of this card, and I think 4 is probably the magic number. 3 if you wanted to throw in an extra copy of the other option in the deck. But yeah, pretty cool card. Definitely going to be seeing a lot of use in black decks. So there we have it. Right. Pretty cool deck. There's some nice combos in here. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be tearing this to pieces with my other one to make a pretty potent Wargreymon deck. The Clear Argumon is one that I've been after for a while. The Inheritable Reboot is pretty good. I've also got the Toy Agumon that has the Inheritable Blocker, which I could possibly throw into the deck if I wanted some extra boosts. The only other blocker I have inheritable at the moment is BT8 Greymon, which has inheritable blocker, but only while you have a red Digimon in play. Luckily, my deck is red and black, so there is quite a few red cards that will hopefully be out on the field. I've got quite a few Metal Greymons that are red, quite a few Agumons and Greymons that are just red. And I also have the BT12 red and black Agumon / Greymon line as well. But yeah, definitely going to find use for these cards. It'll be fun to try out in a deck anyway. Might run a couple of copies of the Ace, but I'm currently just running the Raid Wargreymon for BT12. This guy might be a little bit of a backup and something to threaten my opponent if they know it's in my deck. They might think twice about attacking, because I could go into this guy and then block with the effect there. But yeah, pretty fun little deck nonetheless. As I said at the start, I've picked up 2 of these, mainly because you only get 2 copies of each of the Argu and Greymon lines. So yeah, I wanted to try and at least have a play set of each, and I have plenty of these spare cards left over, which will go into my spare pile for possible future decks. I think that tie could be pretty useful in a lot of decks. I mean, he's a memory setter as well, plus he can redirect and get your draw an extra 2k DP. So could be good in Black Wargreymon with his redirect effect. So gives you a double bonus there, meaning he can put your Black Wargreymon can intercept most things that are going to be 15k, if not more. I was running it with the BT12 Greymon line, which have a lot of all turns plus 1k DP anyway. So my Black Wargreymon would at least be sitting at 15k, providing I got the Agumon and the Greymon underneath him as well. But yeah, really liking this deck. Lot of potential. May even go back into my bits and try and make a Andron focused deck, just for something a little different. So, price cost. I believe these are RRP for £15 in the UK. I picked mine up from Unicorn Cards, where it was £13.09. As I said, I picked up 2, so it cost me £26.18, plus postage, just under £30. So, yeah, there we have it. Definitely recommend this if you are a Wargreymon fan. Definitely recommend it if you are a Black Digimon fan. There's lots of nice new support for Black Digimon. Plenty of nice Digimon with inheritable effects that will benefit you. I know a lot of the high-end Black Digimon usually have reboot inbuilt, like my Galmon and my Black Wargreymon X, but it's nice to have that extra reboot there. And it triggers usually just straight off, or else some of the effects will have, when an attack target is switched, you can even trigger your unsuspend. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. So let me know what you thought of this deck in the comment section. What are your thoughts on how to expand this deck, modify this deck? Like I said, it's got a nice split between the Greymon and the Andron lines, so you could easily make 2 decks out of the 2 copies of this deck that I have, if you pick up 2. But yeah, I'll have to wait and see how my new deck plays once I get back to some games after Christmas. But yeah, there we have it. As I said, let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, warp digivolve.